Apologies for the short interruption. It's Kyle Hess in the batter's box with runners on first and second. 2 outs in the top of the third inning. A 2-ball, 1-strike count. Pitcher for the Anglers looking to get out of this situation with no runs across the plate for Bourne. Here's the 2-1 to Hess. It's off speed and right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Hess struck out looking in the second inning. So he's 0 for 1. Williams over at second. He's been out there for a while with the leadoff double. And Burleson at first. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Hess. That ball's low on the fastball. And the count now runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the runners will get a head start here with 2 outs. Left-handed pitcher against left-handed batter. Here's the payoff pitch from Bartnicki to Hess. 3-2. Runners going, and it's a swinging strike 3. Luke Bartnicki gets out of it unharmed. The Bourne Braves leave runners on first and second. No runs on 1 hit for the Braves as we head to the bottom of the third. Still 6-1. Chatham leads Bourne. You're watching Braves baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Number 30, Drenis Ozuna.
Drenis Ozuna leads it off for Chatham with his team up 6-1 in the bottom of the third inning from Veterans Field. Game 1 of today's Sunday doubleheader. It'll be Ozuna, Smith, and then back to the top of the lineup with Tyler Dones. Chatham batting around in the last inning. Here's the first pitch to Drenis Ozuna, a called strike on the fastball from Sean Harney, who returns to this game after coming on in relief of J.P. Woodward. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Ozuna. Flies it up. High fly ball. Looks like it will stay in play on the first base side. A.J. Curtis leaping and trying to make the catch on the screen. And it hits the screen before it hits his glove, and that'll fall for a foul ball. It's now 0-2.
I'll be honest with you, Sam. I think if that netting is not there, I think Curtis getting that out, I think he has a legitimate chance.
The netting here at Veterans Field extending a little farther than we've seen at most ballparks here in the Cape League. It's 0-2 on Ozuna. Harney in the windup. Now the 0-2 pitch and a ground ball fielded by Morissette over at third. Throw to first is in time. There's the first out of the inning.
And I think we'll see how important it will be to have a first out and, more importantly, to throw strikes. And we talked about the walks so far for the Braves, and we're almost in double digits when it comes to the walks. If
Brady Smith now comes up, had a 2 RBI single in the second inning. The first 2 runs on the board for Chatham. He watches strike 1 from Harney. Came around to score as well on the grand slam from Jamal O'Gwyn. And up. It's a ground ball to Morissette yet again. Fields it on a hop. Throw to first is in time. There's out number 2.
2 quick outs, and this is what we're accustomed to seeing out of Sean Harney. Being able to work down in the zone, get a lot of ground balls, maybe the occasional strikeout in there as well. But it's been 1-2, but now we're back up to the very dangerous part of this order, top of the order.
It's Tyler Dones. 2 putouts for Cody Morissette getting the start at third base. As Xavier Warren not playing here in this first game, typically the third baseman for the Braves. He's struggling at the plate. As here's Dones. First pitch to him is low for a ball. Grounded out to the pitcher. In his last at-bat, it was a sacrifice bunt. That's right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Morissette, who had a tough error in the game against Brewster in the final inning that allowed a runner to get on, that ended up being the winning run for the Whitecaps. Morissette came to third in a pinch hit situation. And there's a ball lined out to left center field. Jake McKenzie moving in on it. It'll be a single for Tyler Dones, his first hit of the ball game. A 2-out single over to left field, and Chatham has a runner on.
They have a runner on, and now there's no off at bat here. Due up for the Anglers. You have Torkelson up next, Jamal O'Quinn on deck, and then Charlie Welch as well. This is going to have to be a big pitcher's move here to be able to get out of this, going up against one of the nation's best hitters.
Sean Harney and the Bourne Braves intentionally walked Torkelson back in the second inning, and the first pitch to him is low on the fastball. Dones over at first, the second time he's been on today. Torkelson's gotten in that bat in every single inning so far. Here's the 1-0 from Harney. Throw back to first on the called ball from Jake Campbell is not in time. Our check, that was called a strike, so it's a ball and a strike on Torkelson.
He's batting 2 for 5 right now on the season. Both those hits, Sam, both doubles.
Looking for hit number 3. Here's the 1-1 from Harney. Torkelson lets it go. Ball gets away from Campbell. He's able to get it in time before Dones does anything over at first. A 2-1 count now on Torkelson.
And he's very disciplined up there at the plate. So Harney's thrown a couple of pitches in the dirt trying to get Torkelson to chase. And it's just not going to happen with Torkelson. He's going to have to make a good pitch in the zone in order to get Torkelson out here.
2-1 pitch. Torkelson flies that high to right field. Moving back, Kyle Hess to the wall. He leaps up, can't get it. It's a home run for Spencer Torkelson, his first of the summer.
His first of the summer, and it was only a matter of time. And that just seemed like a lazy fly ball that just kept going. And like I said, we were talking about how dangerous this kid is, and he just proved it right there, Sam.
23 home runs for Arizona State in the 2019 regular season. A number that was good enough for 5th in the nation, and he homers for the first time this summer in his 3rd game played opposite field. And that now brings up Jamal O'Quinn, who hit a grand slam in his last at-bat. Watches ball 1 from Harney. Well, that's 2 home runs suffered from Harney, Joran. Just such a tough lineup, a powerful lineup that Chatham has. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Harney. O'Quinn fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike now.
Yeah, and you have to imagine this is probably going to be, no matter what happens, Harney's last inning of work. We were talking about when he came in, he was kind of dealt a bad hand. Just can't make this many mistakes and expect to stay in the game here. He's going to be given a chance here to get O'Quinn, who hit the grand slam last time, and I believe that'll be all she wrote for Sean Harney.
1-1 pitch to O'Quinn is high and outside, 2-1 now with 2 outs, nobody on, 8-1 lead for the Chatham Anglers. 6 runs in the bottom of the second, and now 2 runs in the bottom of the third on the home run from Spencer Torkelson. 2-1 pitch to O'Quinn now. That ball high and tight. He turns away, doesn't hit him, and it's now a 3-1 count.
And you might be wondering, why don't they take Harney out now? No one getting loose right now for the Braves. 2 outs in the inning. He's got the keys here to just try and drive this thing out.
3-1. Oak sends that ball high and deep to center field. Bridges gets under it, and he will put it away. But a 2-run home run for Spencer Torkelson here in the bottom of the third makes it an 8-1 Chatham Anglers lead as we head to the top of the 4th inning. You're watching Bourne Braves baseball on YouTube. 8 runs for the Chatham Anglers on only 4 hits. We're in the top of the 4th inning, an 8-1 lead for Chatham. It's Jake McKenzie, Cody Morissette, Jake Campbell, 7, 8, 9 due up in the top of the 4th inning, and Jordan, a huge deficit to come back from.
Yeah, 7 runs. I mean, we haven't seen something like this since the Orleans game last Sunday and the J-cap of that doubleheader. This is something that the Braves have not seen yet this season.
Luke Bartnicki back on the mound for the Anglers, throws a ball on Jake McKenzie, who got on with a walk in his last at-bat in the 2nd and got over to 3rd as well. The 1-0 is in there for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bartnicki came on in relief of Austin Vernon in the last inning, who went 2 2/3, struck out 6, 1 run, not earned. And the 1-1 is in there for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes on McKenzie.
And I mean, if you're the Bourne brothers here, just have
4 strike at bat, or 4 pitch at bat on Jake McKenzie for a strikeout. And there's the 2nd strikeout of the day for Luke Bartnicki. That'll bring up Cody Morissette.
Yeah, it doesn't really help when you're trying to get on base. A 4-pitch strikeout.
First pitch to Morissette. Here's the 0-1 on Morissette. Way out in front of it. There's strike 2.
That off speed from Bartnicki is something special.
At bat now on 8 and 9 part of the lineup. It'll bring up Jake Campbell with 2 outs, nobody on.
Yeah, Morissette, we know, has been struggling with strikeouts, especially. Make that number 9 so far for him on the season. 1 for 16 now. And speaking of 16, it's number 16, Jacob Campbell, just to try and get anything going here for the Bravos.
Campbell, a high fly ball to right field. O'Gwynn moving in on it. That ball will fall in between the second baseman, Dones, and O'Gwynn over in right field. So Jake Campbell, first pitch swinging, gets on with a 2-out single.
A little floater out there in the old Bermuda Triangle in between first, second, and right field on the line. Falls into no man's land, and now it's Noah Bridges. And we know how much he likes to go after this first pitch here, Sam. I think we might see it.
Bridges comes up with a runner on first. Last time he was up, had the bases loaded and flew out to left field. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout as well. Shows bunt, pulls him back, and watches ball 1. 2 outs. Jake Campbell over at first. An 8-1 lead for Chatham in the top of the 4th inning. 4 hits for the Braves, 4 hits for Chatham. Here's the 1-0 pitch on Bridges. Fastball in the zone from Bartnicki. Evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lethal combination, too. When you have, kind of like Vernon, you have a very fast fastball coming at 92, 93, and you're able to mix it up with a 75 changeup.
1-1 pitch to Bridges, shows bunt, and pulls it back yet again. That ball outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1
line. So if Bridges is able to get a bunt down in the right spot, it has a chance to beat it out for sure.
2-1 pitch gets Bridges swinging way out in front of it, and that'll even things up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jake Campbell over at first for the first time this season was 0 for 5 with a walk coming into that last at-bat and was able to get his first hit of the season. 2-2 on Bridges. And foul tipped almost back into the glove of Welch. It falls into the dirt for a foul ball. We'll do it again, 2-2.
Yeah, Welch is kicking himself there. Should have definitely held on to that one. And you can kind of see it. He was a little bit upset with himself not bringing that one in. Now Bridges given a chance to make something out of nothing here, giving new life in this at-bat.
Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 22 at the plate. Here's the pitch from Bartnicki. That ball in the dirt. It's a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Bridges. Campbell will be sent off running early with this 3-2 2-out situation.
And Campbell not with a ton of speed over there. So unless this is hit right into the gap toward dead center, he'll be given the red light at third.
Payoff to Bridges, 3-2, ground ball, slow ground ball to second base. Dones has it, throw to first, and Bridges is down on the ground out. 1 hit for the Braves, but they can't turn it into a run. It's still an 8-1 lead for the Chatham Anglers heading to 8-1 lead. The order for the Anglers, and Jordan, it's Sean Harney again. Is that surprising to you?
A little bit, just because he's been roughed up a little bit out there. 2 home runs given up so far, but you're just looking for some durability here. Throw this arm as long as you can before you bring in somebody else.
First pitch to Charlie Welch is a strike. Welch is 0 for 1, got hit by a pitch in the second inning and flew out to left in the first. Here's the 0-1 from Harner Field. Noah Bridges under it routinely, and there's the first out of the inning. That's good to see a 2-pitch out to lead off the inning for Sean Harney, who you mentioned has been getting pretty roughed up out there on the mound.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit, but like we said, he's kind of dealt a bad hand when he came in the bottom of the second inning, and is really coming down here. Has to prove himself here. If he's able to get an out, get out of the inning unscathed, it'd be real nice for him.
No, is in the zone for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. 4 hits for either team in this first game of the doubleheader. The last doubleheader the Braves played was last Sunday against Orleans, splitting 1 game each. 1-1 is in the dirt on the fastball from Hardy, and that evens up this count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rounding first base, he's headed over to second. Jake McKenzie has it, and it's a 1-out double for Caden Polkovich. And Chatham now has a runner at second with 1 out.
Yeah, the ball getting lost in the Chatham bullpen down the left field line. It's kind of right in the corner, and that's where that ball off of the bat of Polkovich ended up, right down the third base line and rolled all the way into the bolt, stuck behind some equipment over there. So McKenzie waving his hands up. So it goes in the book as a double for Polkovich. And once again, Harney having to work out the stretch. The bullpen, dead silence right now for the Braves.
Well, that'll bring up Alex Terrell. He's 0 for 1, walked in his last at-bat in the second inning. He'll watch ball 1 low. For the A's, extra base hits have been the name of the game so far. You mentioned 2 home runs given up by Sean Harney, 1 a grand slam from O'Gwyn, and a 2-run shot to right outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Terrell. And that time a double from Polkovich. 3 of the 5 hits for Chatham have been extra base hits.
And it looks like finally we're going to have some action to the bullpen. As a runner ahead down there, usually who's there to kind of guard against any line drives, lets the bullpen know who's coming in.
2-0 pitch is line on the first base side, foul from Terrell. 2 balls and 1 strike to him. We mentioned Terrell also has power as well, was third place in the NCAA with 24 home runs. That one to shallow center field. Noah Bridges moving in on it. He'll make the play for the second out, and Polkovich will stay over at second.
Yeah, that's a big out to get as well if you're Sean Harney. I know I said last inning was probably his last. This, for sure, I believe, has to be his last inning of work here in the bottom of the fourth. Coming in, pitching about 3 2/3 innings. This is going to be a big out to get here as we have a pinch hitter here, Jorge Arenas, coming into the game.
Jorge Arenas will pinch hit for Ben Ramirez. Arenas from Stetson, 6'0", 200 pounds. This is his second year with Chatham. His first year, he struggled a little bit. 214 average, 2 doubles, 9 RBIs. In the playoffs for Chatham, went 1 for 13. So he comes in pinch hitting, and right off the bat, fly or ground ball over to first base, picked up by A.J. Curtis. Throw to first with Harney covering is in time. So it's 1 pitch, 1 out for Jorge Arenas. He is retired, and that's the 3rd out. 1 hit from Caden Polkovich, but they can't get him around to score. It's still 8-1 for the Chatham Anglers. We head to the top of the 5th. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Alika Williams up to bat. He swings at strike one from Luke Bartnicki, who's still on the mound for the Anglers. Williams doubled in his last at-bat, a leadoff double in the third. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout as well. The 0-1 is high. Evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Anglers lead it 8-1 in the top of the 5th inning. 6 runs in the bottom of the second, 2 in the bottom of the third. A swinging strike 2, a ball that was in the dirt to Alika Williams. It's now a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, some defensive changes for the Anglers. Jorge Arenas now is at shortstop, Wallace and third base, and Polkovich moves from third to right field.
Right back up the middle for Alika Williams. That's another leadoff hit for him. He has 2 on the day so far. That's a single.
The designated hitter, number 37.
And we saw it over at Arizona State that Williams is very good when he falls behind and does a great job there. Down 1-2, sends it right back to the finally do something with him.
Alec Burleson walked in his last at-bat. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out as well. Swings at the first pitch, 0-1. Burleson was very determined to play yesterday's game at Doran Park, a game that was rained out for the 4th rainout in a row, and he swings a half swing at the second pitch. He's now behind in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, check swing there, called for a strike, though. Burleson for sure thought it was out of the zone. Now finds himself in the hole.
0-2 from Bartnicki. Burleson lays off the high fastball. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Bourne designated hitter. Still looking for his first hit since the walk-off hit last Sunday against Orleans. Here's the 1-2 pitch to him. He reaches out for it. Foul ball, third base side. That's going into foul territory into the seats. And we'll do it 1-2 yet again.
And that was a nice piece of hitting there from Burleson. Only a foul ball, but did well. Very visually there. Adjusted to the off-speed pitch from Bartnicki. Expecting fastball, was able to reset his body. Just throw the bat out there, see another pitch.
1-2 to Burleson. He watches for strike 3. And Burleson, for the second time this season, goes down on strikes. There's the first out of the inning.
And you mentioned strikeouts. Here's someone who struggled with them today, too. Jimmy Glowinski, over 2 strikeouts, 1 each way, 1 swinging, 1 looking, and has a chance here to get a base hit. Just move Williams over would be nice.
Williams at first. Here's the first pitch to Glowinski. That ball is high on the fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, warming up for the Braves, Jacob Winger from High Point University was actually picked up for the Braves, released by YD on June 15th. Here's the 1-0 to Glowinski. That ball high as well. 2 balls and no strikes. So Winger possibly getting his first Bourne. Only 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. 2-0 Glowinski right up the middle on the ground ball. A snag by second baseman Dones. Throw back to second is not in time, and Alika Williams will get over to second safely, and there's a single for Jimmy Glowinski.
And it's a shame, too, because that was a heck of a play made by the second baseman, Dones. He flipped it with his glove. He was able to actually make the catch behind second base, flipped it to second. Arenas there, the shortstop, kind of got caught as a spectator, not even really expecting even his teammate to make the play. So when the flip came, nobody was home at second base. Williams was able to take it. It is ruled as a hit, so a single for Glowinski, and Curtis now has a chance to make a dent here.
Runners at first and second. A.J. Curtis watches ball 1 outside. Curtis today, 1 for 2, a single in the second inning, a strikeout in the third. He comes up in a pretty big situation. The Braves down 8-1 to Chatham. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Curtis outside. 2 balls and no strike. A.J. Curtis also a run scored, the only run for the Braves, as catcher Charlie Welch calls timeout and goes to talk to Luke Bartnicki just to make sure they get on the same page. 1 out, runners at first and second.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that hit for Glowinski maybe possibly gets changed to a fielder's choice because second baseman Jones very clearly flipped the ball to the shortstop. However, the shortstop was not there, Arenas, so I'm not sure how that you can rule that a hit, especially when they were trying to make an out at second base.
Here's the 2-0 pitch to A.J. Curtis. That one high. It's now a 3-ball, no strike count. Dangerous situation for Bartnicki. Could possibly load up the bases for the Braves with a walk. The Braves have already loaded them up back in the second inning. Here's the 3-0. Ball right down the middle. 3 balls and 1 strike now to A.J. Curtis.
And oh, wait. See, I'd like to see the guys have the green light because it's usually going to be the best pitch they're going to see in at bat. Now 3-1. Here we go.
3-1 pitch to Curtis. Swings away and fouls it off toward the backstop. So the count will now run full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Braves first baseman. On deck is Kyle Hess. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
And if this was a close game, I think it'd be interesting to see what the Braves do on the bases here. 3-2 with 1 out, runners on first and second. I think if this was maybe a 2-run game, we might see them moving here on this pitch. But since they're down 7, no sense in getting thrown out here.
Here's the payoff to A.J. Curtis. He swings at it, ground ball over to the first base side. That ball gets into right field. Coming home is Alika Williams. The Braves put a run back on the board. It's an RBI single for A.J. Curtis, 8-2 now.
Yeah, and it seems like a mountain to climb, but you got to start somewhere. Down by 7 runs. It's all about chipping away, especially only in a 7-inning game. A.J. Curtis, nice job there. Extending his strike zone. He swung at ball.
For the Braves, it'll be
Kyler
Fedko, who we haven't seen since the first game of the season against Orleans. Fedko dealing with a little bit of an injury from University of Connecticut, now steps in for the first time in almost 2 weeks. In the last game, he saw action and was against Orleans, went 0 for 3 with 1 strikeout. He comes in taking the place of Kyle Hess and watches strike 1 on the off-speed pitch from Bartnicki.
And Kyler Fedko with UConn batted .242, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs, had an OPS of about .730. Has a chance here to get his first hit of this Cape season.
Runners at first and second. Glowenke at second. A.J. Curtis at first on the RBI single. It's an 8-2 lead for the Chatham Anglers. 6 in the bottom of the second, 2 in the bottom of the third, and that's been it for him so far. Bartnicki steps off the mound, checks back over at second with Glowenke.
You have to think here, if Fedko's able to get a base knock here, McKenzie's able to get a hit, you get a couple runs this inning, you turn it into maybe a 4-run game perhaps. You still got a ball game here.
0-2 to Fedko. He swings at it and fouls it off on the first base side toward the backstop. We'll do it again, 0-2. Jake McKenzie is due up next for the Braves as he takes a few practice swings. Fedko, 23 RBIs at UConn during the regular season. Here's the 0-2 pitch to him. Got him swinging on the high fastball, and there's the second out of the inning. Kyler Fedko does not have a nice welcome back as he goes down swinging.
Fielder number 2, Jake McKenzie.
And now falls on to Jake McKenzie, who has some power, but the Bravos still down by 6 runs. A base hit would likely score another here, running out of outs in this 7-inning game.
First pitch, McKenzie is in there for a strike. 11 strikeouts through the Braves lineup so far. McKenzie, who struck out in his last at-bat in the 4th. Has no 1 count. Here's the pitch. McKenzie, high fly ball over in foul territory, moving over towards it, will get into the crowd. Alex Terrell looking to make the play. It just got over the fence over on the first base side. So McKenzie now fouls behind in the count. It's 0-2.
Yeah, heads up over there, huh? Right into the kind of crowded area, the outfield bleachers, if you will. The baseline bleachers might be more fitting. Falls just over the fence. It passed that netting that early in the game. 0-2. Let's see if McKenzie can battle back here, get something to hit.
2 outs, runners on first and second, 8-2 lead for the Chatham Anglers. Here's the 0-2 right down the middle on the fastball, and McKenzie goes down looking. He strikes out for the second time in today's ball game. The 12th Brave struck out through the lineup through 5 innings. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. Chatham with an 8-2 lead after 1 RBI single from A.J. Curtis in the top of the 5th. You're watching Bourne Braves Baseball on the Braves Baseball Network.